Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
So a while ago, I found these vintage chiclet gums still in the packet, probably from the 70's, I would say. And I've convinced Josh and me, we're both gonna try a piece here and see exactly what it's like. Okay, I'm gonna give you a selection. You can pick your poison. You want in on this action, Bill? You want to try a 35-year-old chiclet?
35?
Probably, yeah.
I feel like purple would be the best because it's probably grape, I imagine. There's no green.
I'm gonna try orange. You want to try a Greg? He's recording this.
I'm just going to enjoy recording and watching the...
Now, don't bite too hard in case it does break your tooth or something. Okay. If it doesn't chew, don't continue.
Oh, this one has a chip in it. Hold on, let me grab a fresh one.
It's from the last person who tried to bite one.
Chiplets, that's why.
Chiplets.
Okay, I've got orange. Josh has purple.
I got red.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna flip this around so they can see me do it too. Did you already put it in your mouth? Bill's an eager beaver. Okay, ready? Oh,
Oh, that tastes good.
it tastes normal. Is it still gum?
Yeah. Tastes alright.
Wow,
What's the expiration? Oh, there is a green one. What's the expiration date on it?
that's surprising. It actually tastes normal.
This is before they put expiration dates on.
There's no expiration date. Okay, so
It tastes fine.
in a case of nuclear fallout, pack your bomb shelter with chiclets. Because they're actually, unless we all get like horrible ravenous diarrhea after this, it's fine, guys. Until we hit the bathroom later. No,
You should try it. You should try it.
it just tastes like regular gum.
Okay, I'll try one.
Okay.
Weird. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I'll try one. Go for purple.
Purple's.
We could have been tricking him to tell him that they were fine. It's like a little chalky at first, like it disintegrates.
It's a little chalky, like it kind of crumbles a bit more than a regular chiclet. But it's still gum. It's still...
It tastes like sugar.
Tastes like sugar.
Tastes normal. I haven't even spit mine out yet.
No.
This tastes normal.
Yeah, I was really worried that we would all die.
You know,
But
I think maybe I tried one that was maybe like, you know, a couple years old, but not
Never 30.
No.
Yeah, found in the sock drawer of the Weaver's house. It doesn't even taste like sock.
No.
Okay,
It
well,
even slightly tastes
You could
grape-ish.
sell the rest of those in your...
I could sell them. I should give them to Bob. He likes trying weird stuff.
Yeah. Save the rest for him.
Josh is all about these chiclets. What are you doing there?
Yeah, ready?
Are you collecting them? Oh, he blew his hat right off his head. That's how good they are. Try a chiclet, friend. Okay, what is the... It's like, it turns into chalk dust at first.
Oh, it's not good.
No, not until you get chewing.
It tastes okay.
That's a big mouthful.
Yeah.
You know, if this stuff does give us some sort of stomach problems, you are in for it. You're gonna have some explaining to do to Ashley. What did you do today? Alex convinced me to eat 35-year-old chewing gum. And?
I put too much in my mouth, so I almost swallowed some.
Like that's gonna be any worse than it going into your mouth. At least if it hits the hot lava in your stomach, it might dissolve or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's too much gum. Still tastes fine though.
Still tastes fine? Okay.
The flavors don't really complement each other, but other than that...
Okay, now we're just debating the flavor of mixing. Yeah, this is assorted fruit gum. Well, there you have it, folks. You can have chiclets around for a really long time, and apparently they still taste like chiclets. Okay, now that we're done messing around in the store and we have survived, it's the next day. No, no Montezuma's revenge. No crazy diarrhea or problems. Not a great way to find out if vintage food is going to kill you, but I figured sugar, how bad could that be? Apparently it wasn't that bad. I am on my way to pick up a whole bunch of stuff. We went to this estate once before and I bought some old toys there, and I've been called back that they found some more stuff. So we're gonna go there and load up the vehicle, and another stop after lunch. Go and search around in someone's garage and see what treasures are waiting for us. So follow along on today's adventure while I go out and find who knows what. I guess we'll see. We'll see by the end of this video what we get. Just got back to my store, which must be kind of busy inside because I couldn't get a parking spot out front. The whole road is full of cars, which is a good sign. But I have a whole vehicle full of stuff now that I picked up. Check this out. And I don't want to sort all this at home. Plus I have another pick I'm going on tomorrow and I'm going to need the space. But I'm going to pull a few things out of here, the bigger things, and we'll take the rest of this back home to sort there, and we'll do an in-depth unboxing in a few minutes. But first things first, we got to unpack a few of these things at least to the store and get this out of the car. First up, there's a set of these blue leather suitcases, which are kind of nifty, but they're taking up a bit of room in the back. I'm actually excited to go through some of these toy boxes. I think there's going to be some neat stuff in there. I think there's one more matching suitcase somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it's down there. If I can get to it. It's really buried. Oh, I'll get this out. Little set of suitcases, a 1950s Mark's ride-on horse. All things which were taking up a ton of room in the car. That'll give me a little bit of room to work with, but the store is definitely filling back up again, just when I thought I was emptying the shelves off. And look, I even kept some of the monsters back for my own shop here with the dioramas. All right, I better put a price on those and then head off to empty the rest. Okay, let's get it unpacked. These boxes are garage fresh, meaning they're not fresh at all. They are dusty and dirty. However, early 70s Fisher Price toys are pretty collectible. So even though, oh look, there's the camper. Even though these things need some cleaning, somebody is going to want to buy them and own them. People collect them. So I'm going to go through all these boxes and lay this stuff out and see what I have to complete little sets. That looks like it's part of a train. Tupperware train. I'm learning about stuff as I go. Oh, here's an encouraging sight. There's Ernie. Hey, Bert. For the Sesame Street Playhouse. What's happened here? It's like Inception for Fisher Price toys. If I could use my mind to make things warp. And then he's like, look, I'm walking on this side now. Anyway, I'm going to get all this stuff sorted. There's even some toy cars. I had the real version of this. It's a Range Rover Series 1 two-door. Had one of those for a short time. Got it off my buddy Scott. Good little vehicle. The only vehicle that I had that I loaded up so much that I actually lifted off the ground. This is the Sesame Street Playhouse. Pretty collectible set. Obviously, because it's themed to Sesame Street. The question's going to be, do I have the proper characters to go for it? There's Bert. There's another Ernie. I think that last Ernie was wooden. You have a wooden head? No, he's plastic. Two Ernies. Mr. Hooper might be in there somewhere. Okay, there's Big Bird. It looks like it might be close to complete, which is a good start. What I might do is put the accessories in the box down there for now so I can get the play sets cleaned up. And I'll sort all this stuff out later. And of course, for me, I always get excited when I find old Hot Wheels cars. This isn't, it's made by Mattel. It's not technically Hot Wheels, but it's pretty darn close. It's a Sizzlers race set in the box. Melissa's probably not excited about it as I am, but maybe there's cars in here. I see there's the little charging stations. Whoo, it's dusty. It is dusty as all heck in here. Alas, there are no cars, but I do have the set box, which is pretty cool. Maybe the cars will be in one of these other boxes, we'll see. Fisher-Price record player, wind-up record player. And somewhere in here, oh, it's kind of working. Somewhere in here, there should be little plastic discs that go along with it. It's part of the farm. Half of you watching at home probably had the farm. Oh, there's some toy cars. I'll check that out in a little bit. Pennants. Ooh, I wonder who it is. Actually, seriously, what's ringing? I have no idea what that was. Something's ringing in here. Oh, look, here's the records for the record player. Well, even after all these years, it still works, even though it's a little dusty. The thing still works. We'll get it cleaned up and try and make it look a little bit better. And there's a whole pile of records to go with it. Kind of a cool thing. Of course, no estate sale or garage sale would be complete without having at least a couple Tonka toys. I remember playing with one of these when I was a kid. Nice thing, this still has its rubber tracks, which are working, still rotating. And this, I think, should open your bucket up. And the idea was you could actually grab dirt and move it around just like a real excavator. Pretty nice piece. Overall conditions fairly decent, actually. I'll set that down for now. Yeah, I've been dumping all the small stuff in the box to sort later. Keep those aside for the record player. They did actually remake this record player. You can buy them brand new, but it's not the same. There's a little outfit for a 12-inch action figure. Don't want to say doll, but action figure. There are some toy cars. Let's see. Some older Hot Wheels. This is a, I can't remember what they're called, but they flip. They hit a certain spot on the track and then they would like do stunts. They'd have a spring-loaded button on the bottom. I remember those, kind of gimmicky. Hoping that these Sizzlers cars are in here somewhere along with that track. If not, I guess that's okay. Don't see any. Nope. But lots of little die-cast cars either way, and a few little fun things in there. There's still a lot more to go through than what's right here, so. Mickey Mouse. Wind up. Hey! He's got his tail. His tail didn't break, but the back of his shoe came off. That's got to be 1960s likely. 60s or 70s. They made so much Mickey Mouse stuff over the years. Little bobblehead. Oh, I see. It's a wind-up of sorts. His head goes up and down. Interesting. Well, that's weird. I guess that's what this one does. Probably made back in the 50s. Yep, made in Japan. Japanese-made toy. Probably had a tail that spun all around. It's not on there anymore. But still working. That's important when it comes to old toys. Well, there's definitely a pile of Fisher-Price stuff. Like this little kid's toy lunch kit. When is this dated from? 1962. It has little milk bottles in it. Kind of a neat piece. Oh, there's an original Stormtrooper. And I think that's Hoth. I don't think that's Han Solo, but that's one of the Hoth Rebels. This looks like it's the guy. Looks like an Action Man. That looks like the top for him. I'm going to go ahead and say that's the missing top. I'm going to redress him. Neighbors are going to walk by and see me dressing a doll and be like, look what that guy's doing again. Anyway, doesn't matter. Work must be done. Got my little dude dressed again. Going through the box, we've got a little remote control Porsche race car still in the box. My mid-70s. A really dusty and dirty airplane. Oh, it might not be salvageable. Look, it's got a broken wing and this has been played with hard. Oh, sometimes you get these things and they just can't be saved, but a little A&W root beer bear. And that's probably from the 1960s based on that logo. They brought that logo back, but that is hard stuffed, like Excelsior kind of feeling bear. I'm going to say that's an original 60s A&W root beer bear. Root bear. Oh, look. Boba Fett. Judging by the age of the other toys in here, I'm going to say this is probably an original one and an older one. 1979. Was only meant to be a temporary character in the show and turned out to be one of the most popular. Boba Fett. It's Kenner 12-inch figure. Probably about a $100 figure right there. Close to it anyway, Canadian. Set him aside. Skateboard. Roller Derby 20K. Roller Derby brand skateboard. Old boards always seem to sell pretty good. Sold one at our last auction sale. It was one of the things that did all right. What is this? That looks like a this looks like a Kenner SSP or a Evel Knievel jump set of some kind. I don't know what this thing is. Mattel, 1973 Mattel. Looks like a little figure would sit there. Maybe I'll find the rest of it in here and solve the mystery. Oh, what's this? A feather. Some sort of Japanese plastic model dude. Worst description ever. Here's his arm. If I can fix him. Maybe the rest of them's in there too. Batmobile. Azrak Hamway International, New York, New York. Made in Hong Kong, 1974. Is it friction drive? Yeah, it's a little friction drive Batmobile. The old school Batmobile. That's neat. Fisher-Price music box iron. Oh yeah, you push it and little eyes go and it plays a song. Well, that's just cute. That reminds me of those Disney cartoons with little faces on the cars, or a Thomas the Tank Engine that could. This is the music box iron that could, and it's filthy, so I'm going to clean it. But look at the bottom. It's the Mego Spider-Man dune buggy, because Spider-Man needs a dune buggy. What better 70s thing would an action hero need? He's a man who can fly with spider webs, but when he needs to drive, he's driving a single-seat dune buggy. Can't take your girlfriend for a ride in that. And underneath it, what do we have? Big Jim's dune buggy. Missing the back wheels. Maybe I'll find the axle in here somewhere. Scuba diver dude. That looks like a Lucy from the Peanuts. Oh, these are old toys. Some are broken. Actually, that's the back end off of a fire truck, so that's not broken. But maybe I can figure out what all these little bits and pieces go to. But the Batmobile and Spider-Man buggy are pretty cool. I wonder if the Spider-Man's in here somewhere. This box is kind of encouraging. It's a box of comic books going back to the 70s. I see a lot of Richie Rich, which aren't necessarily worth anything other than their value as a comic book. There's some earlier Little Lulu. As we go back here, these are gonna be, 10 cents. That's getting back to the 50s. So maybe it's generational comic book collection. All it takes is for a couple action hero comics to be in here for it to be worthwhile. But so far, I'm getting a bunch of Tubby and Little Lulu, little kid kind of comics. Quite a collection of Little Lulu, actually. Nice little stack of 10-cent comics. Some are in better shape than others. Like that one's not terrible. And then others are really peeled open. I wonder if they had better storylines the kids went back to reading over and over again. Let's see. I see some Archie's Double Digest in there. Come on, there's got to be at least... I mean, these are definitely getting older. It's got a big rip in it. Oh, Katie Keene. That's going back. 10 cents. That's part of the Archie family. Black Fury, okay. We're getting out of the Little Lulu collection, which apparently was a big hit. Some cowboy comics. Yeah, there's some older stuff in here. Tom Terrific, Gunsmoke Westerns, 10-cent comics, Roy Rogers. Not that I didn't have my fill of Western comics lately, but Lassie. Let's see if they ever bought themselves a Spider-Man comic. Early Archie comic, 12 cents. And this is a photo cover. The painted covers are generally a little bit more collectible. And I'll show you if I come across a painted cover. Oh, there's an I Love Lucy. I thought it said Jackie Gleason of the Texas Rangers. I'm like, that's not right. Oh, one of these days. Rifleman, Tonto. This is a painted cover. So that's the difference between a painted cover and a photo cover. Just the artwork is a lot nicer on them. It's another early Katie Keene. Well, there are some older comics in here. Some Big Little comics. No superhero stuff from the looks of things. Blondie, Millie the Model. America's typical teenage girl, Ginger. Approved Archie reading, Katie Keene, Little Angel. Porky Pig, Jughead. But, again, these are going back a ways, so there are some good early comic books in here. Thankfully. So I'll have to take these back and you kind of check them over and see what they're worth. I know the I Love Lucy's can be worth a little bit more. So we'll haul this whole box back, but I think that's a really good box of comic books. Don't you think? I picked this shade up. If you don't know what it is, it's upside down. Goes a lot like that. That is the top frosted shade off of a torchère lamp, which you find all over the place, and they're always missing the shade. The replacement shades, if you can find them, are typically a couple $100 or more. And so when you see just a shade lying around, and I made sure they didn't have the lamp any longer, picking one of these up is great because there's always somebody who's got the lamp and doesn't have the shade. Well, guess what I have? Now I have the elusive shade. Mwahahaha. Some old magazines in the mix too, like this 1930 Who's Who of the Screen. Who's on the front? Joan Crawford. My oh my, and look at the ads on this too. Baby Ruth. Now they said Baby Ruth didn't have anything to do with Babe Ruth, although that was a bit of a stretch because he was very popular at the time. Popular chocolate bar, and they really advertised on a lot of toys and magazines too. Looks like I've got some old pennants. Langley, BC, 1938. Somebody went to University of Alberta. They're part of the Golden Bears. It's a nice big patch. Really cool stuff. Going through the bottom of this box, there's some old calendars rolled up. There's a Mickey Mouse Bradley clock, never taken out of the box. Look at that. Still wrapped in plastic, and that's is it a mechanical? Yeah, it's a wind-up alarm clock, tin body. Somebody will buy that thing. It looks like a big pocket watch in style. There was a second one in here somewhere too. I can't even remember where I put it now. I'm losing track of stuff. Oh, look, the little tin tractor. Where the heck did I do with the other Mickey Mouse clock? Well, it's going to turn up at some point sooner or later. Oh, here it is. It's right next to me. I'm just blind. It's also a Bradley alarm clock with your typical ringing bells on top and Mickey Mouse just looking like he's dancing or walking away. Made in Germany, this one is, by Bradley. Cool little pieces right there. Now, I don't buy a lot of Barbie stuff. Maybe because I didn't grow up with it or that it's not my thing, but admittedly, this is kind of cool. This is the Barbie's friendship. I know, corny, but it does turn into something pretty neat from the day. And I don't know how complete this one's going to be. We're going to open it up and I'll set it up and show you what it's supposed to look like if it's all there. Surprisingly, I think this thing's all here. It's an airplane. It's a Barbie airplane. So that's the little door to the cockpit. When they used to invite you in, why, come on in and sit down with me. You want to steer for a while? That doesn't happen anymore. But look, there's a little place to sit and look out the window. There's the steward or stewardess station back here with all the little stuff that they make. You can see it's a United airplane from the towels. And also because the easily lost wing on the back is still there. But what does it look like from the other side? Well, let me show you. It's essentially a big, massive, giant Barbie airplane. About what you'd expect. Truth be told, I've never come across another one of these. They're not overly rare or particularly valuable. This piece is probably worth maybe $100 to $150, being that it has all little ketchup bottles and it's fairly complete. But it's a cool thing to find. And I wish I would have got it on camera. This was inside of a locked trunk that probably hadn't been opened since the 70s or 80s. I was the first one to unlock it and got to buy the stuff inside. So there was this and a whole Barbie case full of old Barbies, as you'd expect. So cool little assortment, but I'd have to tell you, woo! Look, it wants to fly. It's windy here. This Barbie plane is probably one of the cooler Barbie things I think I've had come in. And I had to open up the Barbie case to show you guys what was inside because I know somebody's going to ask. There's a wigs and a scuba piece, but I don't think that's for the Barbie characters. I think that's Big Jim right there. I got your dune buggy. About those rear tires that, well, they were a little wobbly when you brought it in, and he's like got his kung fu action. What? Except it should slap his forehead. No! That's right, Big Jim. Your dune buggy's broken. He doesn't go in with the Barbies. I wonder if his outfit's in here. Okay, I don't know. We'll try and figure all that stuff out later. Here, sorry, dude, you just got some flippers and that's all you get. But there's lots of little accessories in here. Enough to outfit at least a couple of these figures. We'll close that back up and see if we can't find the rest of Big Jim in his Jeep. Bucket number 2, what do we have? A Rock'em Sock'em Robot set. A big one. We've got another Batman car. That's the Mego, or Mego, some people call it, Batman car. And there's a Robin. Gee willikers, Batman, where's my outfit? Never you mind, Robin. Just sit in the car and let's go. Oh, that sounds bad. Anyway, he's missing his clothes. Put him back in the car at least anyway. Hide your shame, Robin. That's pretty cool. Probably about 1974 or so. Let's see. A little tin doll stroller, Western Germany, 1950s. This, I believe, is a studio camera. Rangefinder. Whoa, it's a big sucker. Let's see what this looks like opened up. I was not expecting to find this in a box with a Rock'em Sock'em Robot. This is an authentic 1950s era Bush Pressman. This is like a, if you were part of the press back in the day, this is your professional reporter's camera. Like Peter Parker might have aspired to own something like this back in the day. What a cool thing. It's industrial, it's heavy, and quite collectible. I'm gonna find a safe spot for that while I organize the rest of this stuff. What else is in this box? Well, it looks like the film for that camera. Graphomatic film. I wonder if there's anything on here, if there's still any film left in it. Wouldn't that be cool to find some news event from the 1960s that was never developed? There are some Super Nintendo games. Super Mario Kart, Super Mario All-Stars. My wife is a big Nintendo fan. There's a little wind-up clown fire department car. 1950s kind of era tin. And a little wind-up penguin, because why not? This is actually a fair bit older. This is American-made. Chen, C-H-E-I-N. American-made. That's probably more 1930s era. That's a little older. I'm going to try and get this Rock'em Sock'em Robot set out and see what kind of shape it's in. Now, here is a classic toy, if ever there was one. The original Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And I know it's the original one because it's made by Marx. It's not the replica. The newer ones that came out later were much smaller than this massive guy here. These things are, when their heads are popped up, you know, nearly a foot tall. What a big, cool set this would have been. Not much skill required, other than a little bit of that. You hope you get the heads, knock the block off the guy across from you. Many hours spent, an iconic toy, iconic game, and really, truly a cool thing. I don't come across Rock'em Sock'ems every day. This is probably like the third one in 5 years that I've crossed paths with, so I'm sure it won't last long at the shop. Just really, really fun and very collectible. But again, needs a good cleaning. More Fisher-Price accessories. These have been pre-bagged. I can see that's for the garage. That's for the airport, the little baggage carts. And I have to put all the stuff back together. There's the boat for the camper set. If I'm lucky, I'll have all the parts I need to put these things back together. Now, where was I keeping all this? Right in that box right there. I did pick out a few records out of their garage too. So we got Johnny Winter, The Doors, Van Halen, Pink Floyd, Tommy the Who, Dire Straits, Iron Maiden, and Michael Jackson Thriller. The rest of the stuff they had there was your typical like polka and I don't know, nothing I was really interested in too much. So it could stay right where it was. I've never seen one of these before. Let's switch gears here. Look at the bottom of the box. This is apparently made by Buddy L in Japan. It's like a 1960s or 70s Coca-Cola can race car. Now it has a crossover because it's an actual Buddy L toy, but for Coke collectors, they might think that's pretty cool too because it's got the Coke graphics on it. Never had one. Probably worth, you know, 30, 40 bucks or something like that. Don't know just yet. I'll have to look them up. Sometimes I'm surprised and these things can be worth crazy money because they're rare. But anyway, thought it was worth bringing back. And this, they had this in their garbage pile. That's an original 1940s university. That's like a college sweater with the A. Reminds me of like the Archie Andrews A. It's a nice heavy knit college sweater. vintage clothing, as we know, can be collectible, and somebody out there is going to be interested in getting an old college sweater like that. And same goes for this little it's got all the places they went to. This is what I think their Scouts hat, but look at all the pins on there. Boy Scouts. So it's not just Boy Scout pins, it's from all the different provinces. This is a heavy hat, I can tell you that much. Everywhere they went, they probably got a pin. This was their vacation hat. Every time they went on holidays, they probably wore that hat back in the 70s and 80s. And anytime they stopped at a certain town around Canada, they stopped and got a pin and stuck it on there. There's a lot more room on the back. They could have done a little bit more travel, but you know, that's a good 5-pound baseball hat right there. I'm happy when I reach inside a box. Well, for starters, this is a Seismo cap blasting cap box from CIL Industries. Somebody would probably buy this box on its own. It's not particularly old because it's not dovetailed and it's not heavily stamped in there. But it is an old CIL box for blasting caps. But what's inside is pretty cool. Check out this cast iron pointer. And what does he do? He chops down. He's a nutcracker. And he's probably about 14 inches long. Cast metal. You can see that he was black at one point, and somebody's gone ahead and painted him red by brush over top, maybe to try and match a dog that they had, make him look more like their own pooch or friend. But this will be an easy sell. People, if it's weird, unusual, and cool, especially animal or action figure related, they sell. There's a music box teaching clock right there. You can set the time, teach your kids how to tell time. How many kids are taught how to tell time on a Arabic style clock like this? Probably not too many. 1962, 1968. So last patent date was 68. I'll have to keep all the Fisher-Price stuff maybe together in one box because there's a lot of it floating around. Big giant collection of Fisher-Price stuff, that's for sure. This box, okay. Let's see, what do we got going on here? There's a little Spaceman set. Okay, I see the backpack for the dude. Eldon Spaceman, 1974 is what that is. There he is. Little battery-operated Spaceman. Nice that it has the back for it. That's often missing. We've got a little shuttle and some other stuff here. Not maybe the very best of condition to figure out exactly how that goes, but you know, there is a demand for space toys out there. That's his little space shuttle. And what's this? A random, this looks like a stewardess doll they would have given away maybe on United or something when you were flying the airlines. They give these to little girls or whoever wanted them getting on the airplane. Those are like a special little thing. Back when air travel was a lot more special than it seems to be now. People would actually dress up and, you know, care about how they presented themselves. You'd have plates, actual dinner plates, china. I don't remember that, but my folks told me about it. And a big giant Atari set. And are there any Phaser Patrol, a cassette video game, supercharger game for the Atari video game system? That's kind of neat. Let's see. Space Invaders, Warlords, River Raid Basketball. Oh, here's one. Look. Empire Strikes Back on Atari. Pac-Man, all the good games are here. Donkey Kong. Cool, the whole system's there. That's probably why it says Dan's Atari game on the outside of the box, because it's exactly what it is, Dan's Atari game. I remember having these Avon boxes. My mom used to sell Avon, and she used to pack all of our stuff in Avon boxes. Wow. Memory brought back. Many a move was done with those Avon boxes at my house. Okay, I'm going to start cleaning up and see what this all looks like. And among all the Fisher-Price stuff was this. An original cardboard stand-up from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. These movies terrified the heck out of me when I was a kid. Apparently Zsa Zsa Gabor was in this one. Patricia Arquette. I think Johnny Depp might have starred in one of these, if memory serves. Wes Craven movie, of course. Anyway, really neat thing. Surprisingly good condition. And I'm doing a horror movie themed auction coming up, so I'll probably take this stuff down. Might even throw the Fisher-Price Little People in. Whoa! Yeah, I think this will make its way over to the auction after today. I brought this little box in. At the time, the people that owned it thought that the box was more valuable than the contents, but that's not true, in my opinion. What should I know? There's some brooches. And little Burke's ring boxes, which sound like there's rings inside of. I'll have to pry this open and have a look at it. I brought this in to show Melissa. No, those are pins, like school pins. But I see some old coins. Silver dime. A little bracelet here, and this is made of interesting coins. Newfoundland at one point had their own currency, and these are Newfoundland 5-cent pieces. So they're all, they'd be silver, and it forms a whole little bracelet. So if somebody's from Newfoundland, they might think that that's pretty cool. Some of them are quite old, actually. That's Queen Victoria. That's probably 1800s. 1890. Yep, that's going back a ways. They had their own currency for quite some time, as you can see, at 1941. And after that, they went to just currency like the rest of Canada. But pretty darn neat little bracelet. All these little brooches, including clowns and school pins, class pins. Riders Award Moose Jaw. Isn't that cool? It's an early bicycle award from the Chamber of Commerce. And look at the old bicycle on there. Moose Jaw is not a big place either. They probably only had 2 bicycles at the time. This was I can't throw any shade at Moose Jaw. I actually worked there for a little bit, but it would have been a small place. Good Deed Club of Canada, of Calgary, and that's an Eaton's Award, which doesn't exist anymore. Fun little things. Somebody's little treasure box, some rings and brooches and dragonflies, lots and lots of fun little things that we'll spend some time going through and seeing what we have. I see there's some coins at the bottom, a little silver buckle, looks like it's sterling. Jubilee coin, just a token. Anyway, it's always fun to go through these little boxes. That's it's Italian micro mosaic bracelet. That's what that is. Little tiny bits of glass in there form these sort of enameled looking pieces. Cool thing. Anyway, lots to go through for us for later. So that's it. I ended up with somebody's childhood toys in one fell swoop. Sweeping out the garage and finding a few cool things. I think it'll be a worthwhile day. I am going to take the Fisher-Price Little People and a few of the other things to auction, including the Freddy Krueger piece. We'll put those through our August 21st sale. I just have to make sure that I wash them and find all little accessories that I can to go with each set. But that's part of the fun. That'll be tonight activity. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed these little adventures. We'll see you all soon. And as always, bye for now.